Hi home bakers! Today I'm in the kitchen making Easter bunny shaped bread rolls. My kids and I found a few of these pictures online and we knew we had to give them a try. These bread rolls are soft, golden, and slightly sweet. I'm using my favorite buttery, pillowy soft bread roll recipe to make these buns. And they're going to be the perfect addition to any spring or Easter table. Serve them warm with butter, jam, or even a drizzle of honey. Or better yet, slice them and turn them into sandwiches for the cutest packed Easter lunches. So let's get into the kitchen. This is how I make bunny buns. To start this recipe, in a large bowl, mix 2 cups of warm milk and 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm just going to stir this to dissolve the sugar and then sprinkle on top 2 1/4 teaspoons of dry active yeast. I'm going to set this aside for about 5 minutes for the yeast to soften. For these little bunny buns, I'm using an enriched bread dough. This is going to make them super soft and tender. Mix in 1 egg, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 5 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. Then, using my stand mixer, I'm going to knead the dough for 1 minute on low. Once the dough starts to come together, I'm going to drop in 1/4 cup of softened butter. Once the butter is absorbed, I'm going to turn it up to about medium and knead for 4 more minutes. If you're making this recipe by hand, tip the dough out onto a floured counter and knead for about 8 to 10 minutes, or until smooth and elastic. Place the dough in a bowl and cover with plastic wrap or a damp kitchen towel. I'm going to let it rise in a warm place until it's doubled, which takes about 1.5 hours, depending on the temperature of your kitchen. Now that my dough has nicely puffed up, I'm going to tip it out onto a floured counter. I split my dough into 12 equal pieces here, which did give me pretty large bunny buns in the end. So if you were looking to make smaller dinner rolls, split the dough into 24 pieces. Then I'm going to shape each piece into a long rope shape. It might take a little practice to see how long you need to make each rope to make the perfect twisted bunny shape. And before rolling each rope, I'm just going to cut off a little bit of dough and set it aside to make the tail at the end. Fold the rope in half and twist it twice. Leave the 2 ends separated at the top for the ears. Then form the little bit of reserved dough into a tight circle shape. Tuck this into the very bottom of the twist to form the tail. And feel free to give a little character to each little bunny bun. My kids loved getting involved and adding a unique shape to each of their little bunnies. Some with longer ears, some with floppy ears, some skinny little bunnies, and some that were short and plump. After each one is shaped, I'm going to set them aside onto a lined baking sheet, leaving some space between each one to allow them to puff up and rise. Then I'm going to set these aside once again in a warm spot and let them rise until they've just about doubled again, which takes about 45 minutes to an hour. Now my little bunnies have puffed up again, and to give them that beautiful golden brown outside, I'm going to brush each one with a little bit of heavy cream before going into the oven. But you could also use an egg wash for a lovely golden glossy finish on each bun. And now my rolls are ready to get popped into my preheated 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius oven. And they're going to bake for about 18 to 25 minutes, depending on the size of your buns. Remove them from the oven and allow them to cool slightly before serving. This easy homemade bread roll recipe creates soft, fluffy, pillowy rolls that are shaped into adorable bunnies that are almost too cute to eat. Whether you're bringing them to an Easter brunch, or just looking for a fun bread recipe to make with kids, these homemade bunny bread rolls will definitely bring a smile to everybody at the table. And as always, you can find a link to the full written recipe in the description box below. Enjoy! If you're a fan of deliciously simple vintage recipes and old-fashioned skills, then you'll want to check out this next video. Thanks for stopping by.